And you've been watching this unfold throughout the day. You immediately started hearing from sources that this looked like the work of ISIS. Why?
Like you said, this is an ISIS claim, so there's nothing definitive yet, but this was a mass shooting on civilians, not usually the work of a nation state. That kind of attack you do to scare civilians in their way of life, and this was an attack on a concert hall. This is something typical of terrorist organizations. Consider the Paris Bataclan attack, and not to mention, this is March 22nd. This is the anniversary of the 2016 Brussels attack that killed 32 people, and that was claimed by ISIS.
Okay, so some might wonder, why is ISIS targeting Russia?
For a few reasons. For one, Russia was one of the Assad regime's greatest allies during the Syrian civil war and bombed ISIS regularly. So they've not been good terms since. But more importantly, Russian authorities, by their own admission, thwarted an attack by ISIS-K in Moscow only weeks ago. This isn't something new. In fact, the U.S. warned the Kremlin that ISIS was plotting attacks in Russia.
Okay, so we all know about ISIS. You just mentioned ISIS-K. Tell me more about that.
Well, ISIS-K stands for Islamic State Khorasan Province. It's the Afghan offshoot of ISIS, centered in eastern Afghanistan. They've been trying to carve out a place in the country since the pullout in 2021. It's currently at war with the Taliban, and Russia is warming to the Taliban. Just last week, it was reported that the Taliban installed a military attaché in Moscow. So this very much is an attack of an ally of your enemy.
Okay, now initially there was talk that this could be Ukraine behind the attack. What do you make of that?
Let's take a look at Ukraine's suspected operations in Russia. They've supported a Russian battalion in its incursions into Russian borderlands. They've sent drone swarms to bomb refineries inside of Russia. They've undertaken special operations inside of occupied territories. None of this is the wanton killing of civilians, nor would it benefit them.
Okay, so what's next? How do you think Moscow is going to react to this?
So far, people like the former president Medvedev are blaming Ukraine, but Russia has in the past shown no hesitation in dealing with ISIS militarily.
Okay, thanks for this, Ben. National security reporter Ben Makuch in Ottawa.